It is myself. I am Riggs. We've got Dave Portnoy and Kirk Minihane. Interesting lineup, to say the least.
Yeah, I feel like we were sitting over there at our table. We had nachos, which Kirk already complained that he didn't get, but I said...
Not a complaint.
I
You
said bring them over.
I don't want...
They're coming.
I don't want this. First of all, I can't hear myself. You guys can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you fine.
You did Riggs, did he offer nachos to us?
It was very obviously acceptable.
I mean, a nacho.
It was like
you have to be
communal.
like, hey, have the nachos. They're there. If you want nacho, you take.
Right. It's not a common thing for somebody to order a personal set of nachos. Nobody does that.
But go ahead.
So, anyways, I was sitting over there, and who knows what to expect because, it's such a wild card, Kirk. Nobody ever knows what you're going to get. I don't know if you're going to come in here like guns blazing. You and Riggs, last time you talked, you were calling each other. And you never know on these live shows because there's people, but I'll try to tone it down. You guys are calling each other pussies and shit.
Right.
So this is the first time you had that. Nobody knows, Kirk, whether you really like them or hate them. Mm-hmm. You've brought your cronies here. Maybe you not, but like Blind Mike's here.
Sure.
I guess, is Steve Robinson here?
Steve Robinson is here. Milton's paid the way for Steve Robinson.
Yeah, so like people asked at our company who I like, they're like, hey, can we come to Miami? The answer is no.
Okay.
So, but you brought two people with you. So, the only thing I'm concerned about.
I don't even know what you're rambling about.
No, I'm going to tell you, the only thing I'm concerned about this week in Miami is Kirk Minihane and company.
Is that really true?
Yes.
You're concerned about me?
Kirk Minihane and company.
Okay, if company wasn't here, would you be concerned?
Far less.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh. Well,
I don't like or trust Blind Mike.
Sure, you've made that very clear. Yeah.
So the first thing I said to you today, when I saw you, was I want all Blind Mike stunts approved before he does them.
Sure.
He's 0 for 1. He asked me to do. He said he was planning on going to a drag bar tonight and pretending he thought it was media day.
Well, because you told him he couldn't try and get in the media night.
I would not have wanted him to do that. I didn't even know. I don't think I actually said that.
Was my understanding, but okay.
That's a correct understanding. I would not want him to do that either.
Okay.
So he's going to go to a drag bar. So I just feel like throughout the week, who knows what could happen.
Well, I mean, I think we have a pretty good communication.
You and I.
Stuff. Yeah.
For the most part, yes.
So he's going to try some things. If you say no, you say no. We're here to try and do stuff. I'm not going to do my podcast like I did this morning for 3 hours, then sit around with my hand on my ass for 6 hours. I want to do stuff. You saw me today. I was hustling around.
Well, you were lost.
I was lost. I was lost.
We bumped into Kirk maybe 50 yards away from where we are right now. Now, to set the stage, our hotel, which we have, you can see, literally, I can see it from our set, is very close. Mm-hmm. The bar is maybe, a weird haircut Seth football throw to it. We saw Kirk maybe 100 yards from here.
I think that's generous.
And totally lost.
I mean, it's not possible. I said to KFC, it was like when Brooks got out of Shawshank and the world had changed. I was like, look at these cars going by. Look at the sky.
The first time that I'd seen Kirk since everything last time we talked to the show was last night in the hallway at the hotel, and he couldn't find his hotel room.
In the hotel?
Yes, yeah. I'm aging. I'm like your dad, essentially. At that point.
Is not what you want to hear.
No.
So, but now to your point, when you're doing stuff here, like what do you do when you're not here? What are you doing the days in Boston?
Stuff. Just show stuff, looking up stuff, reading stuff, paying attention.
So you could do all that here, correct?
I am doing all that here. Yeah, right, I do feel an extra obligation being down here.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I have some initiative. Do you want me to have less initiative?
The same initiative. Like, we brought you down here. I think you're a very talented radio guy.
Thank you, Dave.
So we brought you down here. We're going to have a big crowd as the week progresses.
Sure.
To do radio. So now, the main thing that we always go back, it's the blind. I trust you, and you're a crazy person, literally, more than I trust Blind Mike.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Blind Mike has a sense of tact, so I just need to know what he's doing. That's it. If we're on the same page, we're good.
But I mean, who has? Do you want people who have tact in this company? Like, only?
Yeah, for what Blind Mike is doing, yes.
Okay.
Like, here's the reason. Do you want to know?
I'm saying, though?
Do you know why I said no to what he was doing tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with it?
We talked about it before.
Yeah, right.
I think you're thinking too much about it.
Oh, see, I don't think so.
But to be fair, in my defense, we had this conversation over the Albright stuff, right?
Yes.
And you said to me, I have a good nose for this. And I think you do, but I said on this one, you're
wrong on that
and you were wrong on that
Correct.
one. So I think you're overrating somebody like Blind Mike, who is literally the least important person in Miami right now. Not at Barstool, in Miami, maybe Florida. I mean, it's not possible to be less important than he is.
He's the least important human
on the planet
maybe I've ever met. which is what creates the issue because when he gets in trouble, if he continues with stuff like that, it's Barstool that's attached. So that's my problem.
Well, this is the fight we had last time. I mean,
it's like when you have
relitigate this.
Yeah, the least important human, not only at Barstool, in the world, who creates bigger issues for Barstool.
Well, your company hired this guy.
I got to be honest.
Well, that's
you hired him.
No. This is your company.
No, you hired him.
This is your company.
Yeah, but I thought you were at first paying out of your own pocket, which is like, okay, I never knew.
Well, some of it is out of
we
pocket.
didn't know that, like, Erica greenlighted him. And to be fine, I would have been okay with it until he started opening his yap. And then
that's what we're really getting at.
It's the thing, the Carabas thing at MGM, where he went, did that stunt.
No problem with that.
Right, but my point being, if for those who don't know, he did, and it wasn't funny what he did, just screaming from the back. That's what I mean. He's not funny.
Right.
Like, nothing he does is funny or original. Like, just sitting there and screaming from the back. Not funny, Blind Mike, at the Red Sox, gets dragged out.
He's no Jim Florentine, for sure.
I think he is funny. Jared Carabas.
You don't like him either, huh?
No, I didn't.
Jared Carabas then walks into MGM, and the security is like, Barstool Sports is banned from MGM. Why? Because
but that didn't happen though.
He had to call and get. It doesn't matter.
But then he went in.
But Mike,
if he had been banned for life, Dave, if he had been banned for life from MGM, Carabas, I would have laughed at that. But if that had happened, I would have said that's a conversation. But it didn't happen.
But listen, the path that I'm trying to prevent as a leader of men, which is what I am,
and women, yeah,
and women. Thank you.
Sure,
all humans. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get to the explosion. I'm trying to stop. If I just don't do anything, be like, turn, let Blind Mike do whatever he wants. Eventually, I'm telling you, there's going to be an explosion that is going to have damages that we can't control. I'm trying to prevent that.
I think you like the fact that you don't know what I'm going to do. I think you like that. I do. I think you like that. I think you like that.
I don't. I think you're talented.
I know you've said that. I don't need that. Pat, I'm aware of my talent.
Well, I'm not saying it to pat you on
You're
the
a talented guy.
I know I am. Look at this. We have our own hotel. You don't get your own hotel.
Absolutely.
In this big set by not being
the hotel was fantastic.
Thank you.
I found my room was great.
Yeah. So it's just I'm trying to be. And it's not just against Blind Mike. It's and I always use this example. If Mantis was running around doing things that I thought, well, he's a deformed guy that we have working.
Oh yes, I know him. I like
first
him.
segment shot at Mantis already. First segment.
I like him.
I mean, it's not a shot if it's the truth.
I like him. Yeah, I know him.
He'd be perfect for you. He'd better off with you.
Then who?
Barstool.
Okay, well, just bring him by. We'll use him.
I don't want to create that combo. But the point is just staying ahead of it, and it's not the juice is never worth the squeeze.
You and I have communicated pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think people thought that you and I weren't going to last 3 months. That's what everybody said. Oh, you're going to fight. No, I think we have conversations. We disagree, and then whatever.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
No, I think as good as we could have hoped.
Yeah, I mean, would you, if you could do it over, would you have not brought me in?
At times, I've wondered about that.
Thank you. That's nice to have your.
At times, I've wondered about it. At times, I've wondered about it because, again, it's.
We have a very nice audience. People enjoy the podcast.
Your podcast is doing great.
Thank you. That's okay.
Your podcast is doing great. It's got good numbers. It's growing. Your fans are psychos. Sometimes
which is good, right?
And what about? All right, that's the other thing. I forgot about this. The guy sends shirts he wants to make for the Super Bowl with my dead dog on it.
Who's the guy?
You.
Not me.
Who sent it?
My operation, my team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the
that
team
counts
is
as you. My dog, which I love, and my ex-wife, who I'm still very close with, she saw on this set people wearing dead Stella. Look how much I love my dog. She's in this thing with the halo on it, Stella.
Right.
They had, like Stella the beer.
Yep.
Dead Stella shirts.
Right.
With Stella's face on it.
Because we know it triggers you. It's funny. It amuses me.
Of course
it's
it
a friggin' dog.
Me.
It amuses me.
But
the dog was like 90 years old.
16.
On. That's like
I'm not moving on. I love the dog.
Move
For
on.
you to think you're going to get those shirts.
If you came with a shirt with my dad's picture on, I would laugh.
But it doesn't trigger you. A dead dog to me, it means a lot. It's a dead person.
Okay, well,
there's no one else at this company.
Suck it up.
There's no one else at this company who, for anything, I think, would intentionally go after something like just be. Oh, it triggers them.
Right.
Nobody would do that. You would.
I would.
Right.
Yes.
And I'll put it down. And I don't know.
You mean like you put the dog down?
No. But if you walked in with the shirts, I would have put. And you may do it at some point. Like, nothing you do surprised me. If you walked in with the shirts of Blind Mike, who, by the way, I fully expect to try to do some sort of stunt here at some point during the week.
God forbid a Barstool guy tries to do a stunt.
To us.
What do you mean here? Like what? Like
on radio. He's going to come up and probably yell something stupid wearing this shirt.
I don't think so.
And he will be on the first plane out of here. That's a guarantee. But the stuff like that.
That's fine. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules.
But during this process, when have I said after we disagree, if we disagree on something, I say, well, all right, I work here.
But
I work here.
Listen, I know you and your little crew a little bit better than you think, that you're just going to go, you guys will just, oh, well, this wasn't said. I know what.
Well, that's true.
I know.
That's true.
Trust me.
That's your fault, though.
George Costanza, I couldn't have sex with that woman? Well, you didn't make that very
that's
clear.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
that is, and I know, so I'm on edge. I'm waiting. I don't know where it is.
So the Kirk Minihane show has put Dave Portnoy on edge.
Yes.
Okay. I like hearing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
But that is, and I know for you that's good.
But it's in, like, we like each other.
You and I?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, really? What?
I truly don't like Blind Mike. I don't think.
You made that clear, Dave.
I think
we're there. We've arrived.
I think Blind Mike would do anything to raise his profile, even on a meter of raising a profile, an inch at the expense of, like, major damage for Barstool.
You made that clear.
I honestly believe that.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but you may be proven right.
So that exactly.
Well, I'm not saying that. I would. If you ask me, do I have knowledge of anything? You asked me that this morning.
Yeah.
First, you came at me about Kobe Bryant, and like, what the fuck?
Well, I didn't want to be Ari Schaefer. Have you seen what he's been?
Yeah, but I wouldn't tweet that. If you think I'm going to tweet that, like, don't hire me. I've never tweeted anything close to that in my life. We'll get to it later, I'm sure.
Yeah, we will.
I'm not the host of the program.
That was so. I mean, Blind Mike.
He wouldn't.
Well, do you see what he was retweeting?
But retweeting is okay to me. You can retweet stuff.
Well,
I mean, that woman from the Washington Post retweeted that story. They suspended her. That's nuts.
Well, that's not why she got suspended.
Was it because of the emails?
It was
because they made it public. I thought that might be.
No, it was doxing. Yeah, doxing.
Yeah, there were names on.
Yeah, the doxing.
But you would agree if they suspended her for the other thing, it'd be crazy.
You can't. Well, that's freedom of speech. Yeah,
but
you can't do that.
What do you mean?
You can't suspend somebody for freedom of speech.
I think you probably can. I mean, it's a private company.
Well, no.
No?
I don't know, actually.
I think they could. They could definitely.
Yeah,
maybe they would.
So.
But it would be a bad look. I think that them suspending her for doxing and the other stuff is fine.
That's legitimate.
But it is hypothetically, using that example, let's say, and this is where we have the conversation, I'm sure we'll have it to a degree all week.
Feels like it.
It does feel like it.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's say
neither one of us are going to change.
But here's a question for you, and you may answer it differently, which is fair. If you're in my shoes, you'd answer it differently than if you're in your shoes. But if Blind Mike made the Ari Schaefer video saying, like, fuck Kobe, blah, blah, all the shit, that will be reported as Barstool Sports says.
That to me is a legitimate point. So if something like that happens, in a perfect world, I like to think I'd protect my guy, freedom of speech. I don't own a business. I'm not in charge of a business. So it's easy for me to play that card, right? And I've said that with Mike even differently because essentially in a lot of ways I have a huge stake in my show. You know, I have a slice of the revenue. I do a lot of the sales stuff. So I say that, if he did something like that, then it's a different conversation. I don't disagree with that. But in the perfect world, I'd like to say, you said it. Let's have a conversation about it. But I
agree.
I know it's 2020, and it doesn't always work.
So that in a nutshell would be my fear. Like, he does it and then it's too late. And people look for reasons to get us. So it's like, let's take somebody, Blind Mike being the example, it wouldn't always be him, but low on the totem, who just spoke for the entire company and put us in a position that we don't want to.
But I guess my point is, we talked about this last time. So the news cycle happens and they shit all over us. What's the real damage when you're done with everything?
It can vary time to time. I mean, there's jokes I've made in the past that we still deal with advertisers today.
Like the Ponder stuff?
Ponder stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 4 years before he lost the show, all that stuff. So if we can, that's something that's predictable to me. Like the Kobe thing is like, you can't do that. Whatever your opinion is, if you want to speak for yourself, but you can't disassociate it. It's easy to be like, that's me. I can say what I want. Great, but that's not the world we live in.
But he went all in, though. I mean, that fucking tweet was like.
Did you see his video?
Yes, yeah. That to me is that's a different level. I don't think Mike would do something like that, but you do.
Correct, and that is
that's
right. That's where the discrepancy.
Do you have sleepless nights over this?
No, I don't have sleepless nights.
But you think about it.
I do think about it.
You ponder it.
I ponder it.
Okay.
Well played.
I actually didn't mean that.
Don't give him credit. Come on.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Pretty good.
So what? Let's pretend that I listened to the Kirk Minihane show and I heard that you called me a pussy. Why do you think I'm such a pussy?
Well, I can tell you why.
Okay.
So pretty simple. So we had the segment with me, you, and Dave, right? And
Correct.
Mike, which was a scream fest. I thought it was terrible. Dave fucking screamed. He hosted. So congratulations. You screamed louder.
Let's just revisit.
We're going to relitigate. We're going to relitigate
Because I think it's important to revisit that because it's very similar in terms of who says what to what we're talking about right now.
What do you mean?
In terms of like where the buck stops and who makes the final decisions, which is Dave, and who has to actually deal with those ramifications, which is Dave, of like the company and why certain decisions are made.
Okay, so there's I think, and I'll give you the backstory with this with me and you.
Okay.
I think not that you care that it matters. I think was supportive of your podcast a lot.
Definitely.
Always retweeted it. Said when you guys did a great job. Played sound of it. Would actually reach out to you personally when I thought it was a good one.
I was on the Kirk Minihane show one time.
You were on the Kirk Minihane show.
Really fun.
I was on Foreplay. I was on Foreplay.
Thank you.
And that, had a good time. So going into that break, going into when we were on the air, Dave, we could hear you guys talking, and Dave's like, I brought Kirk on because I just think, I could fire both of them. And you and Tommy just like kind of laughed. And I'm like, I'm like, these are like, this is my job, this is my life, and you're just treating it like it's nothing. And I was like, well, fuck off.
What was actually said was Dave was like, hey, how do you think this is going to go? And we all guessed. And
I
Dave
actually had no idea prior because you were on.
You did say that.
I think
let's bring Kirk Minihane on the fire. I'm like, well, I mean,
but that's not what happened. What happened was Dave.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it's not. Dave
was.
presented it to us very clearly as like, how do you guys think this is going to go? We all guessed. I did not say anything going to get fired.
No, I didn't.
He said I wouldn't be surprised if it ended with them getting fired, and we all were like,
I didn't say you said he was going to get fired. He said it, and you guys were both kind of like, oh yeah, whatever.
Well,
that was the exact reaction.
What I thought.
We were like, oh my god, wow.
Let's back up just to clarify because
the difference is. Sorry, Dave. The difference is like I liked you. And if Dave, I would have been like, why? He's a good guy.
We're about to hash it out on radio. Why would I have to off radio defend you? Let's see how this goes.
You didn't do it on the radio either.
But on the radio, what's happening now is where you're like, well, you're a pussy because you didn't defend X, Y, or Z. What happened was you had just sewered Mike and given him misinformation that led him to be calling him pussy. And then once you're on the air with Dave, you didn't have you weren't standing up to Dave at that point.
According to him, yeah, I did. I argued with him. According to him,
but you agreed with Dave. You're like, yeah, that is what you told me. And then Blind Mike.
Again, we're in this like semantical reimagination.
But that's what you do. You do like a 3-hour podcast about semantics and why that makes X, Y, or Z a pussy, which is all Barstool people every time, and it's pathetic. So we're going to stand up for ourselves.
So you don't think I call other people out?
I know that you do all the time. That's why I don't respond to it. A lot of Barstool people. But I pick every Barstool person. It's either K. Marco this week, last week, it's then Kevin, then it's Fight, then it's Hank, then it's me. Somebody every time.
What was the original? I know we had a conversation.
It was about the
blog.
Right. What blog did he write about?
About the woman who he was going to write
the Trenny thing.
Yes. Got it. All right. Right. So I did think because we had, and this is the only thing that does frustrate me at times with you is we had what I would say is a very civil, small. It to me it was a non-issue, right? When nobody was taking some hard line in the sand. We explained it. You may not agree, but you're like, okay, fine. But then I get all the Minifans sending me clips of, Blind Mike cannot dare me to fire him.
Well, so you didn't get clips of Kirk Minihane saying that. So your issue was with Mike.
Correct.
So you think I led Mike down a trail?
I thought you put him in I thought you made it.
But by the way, you didn't listen to the show.
No, I just got clips sent.
Right. So you don't know.
Well,
that's fine.
I know very much. If Dave Portnoy doesn't like me, he should fire me, suck my dick type.
That's different. What I'm saying is
that's all.
You guys suggesting I played some mind game with Blind Mike to lead him into that. I would never do something like that.
Yeah, right. But with that face on. And the reason I had you on was I was going to let Mike say, "Do you want me to fire you?" Which I did. And then if he said yes, fire me. Knowing you and how you're loyal to your guys,
I would have quit.
So that's why you had to be on with him.
And that's exactly what Dave said to us during the break that we were like responding to.
Right. And then
I didn't think Mike would back down.
Then I said there's a joke that Riggs texts me all the time saying Dave's a pussy.
I did think that was a joke.
Right. That's obviously a joke, Riggs. That's a joke.
In the moment, you had just sewered one of your guy, then everybody's screaming at the top of their lungs.
Did you think for a second that was real?
That was a joke. I knew that was.
That was obviously a joke.
But to me, in that moment, rather than risk being like sewered by you, I thought I'd make it very clear I'm not texting, calling Dave a pussy behind his back.
So you pussied out.
in that moment just.
Well, then there we go. We're done. Thank you.
But that's not a pussy.
You can see that.
Like,
You just said
the time.
You just said he was. He said that moment he was
legitimate. Like
you were. That's all we're doing.
For all I knew, you were sewering me.
Apology accepted.
For all I knew, you were sewering me.
There was no win there. I don't even know what you just claimed to win.
A mild apology.
So, anyways,
for all I knew, you were sewering me, and
this show's going to be awesome for the entire week.
Well, this is sewering me. I don't even understand.
You know what sewering
Trashing.
is?
Come on, you're not that old.
You see me wander around Miami?
You are old.
But I don't. But you know, my thing. This is why I always run into trouble. Is I take loyalty way too far. Like I legitimately, like, the Riggs does a good job, and I thought his podcast is good. Like if that had happened in that moment, I would have been like, "You're gonna fire this fucking guy?" And I was sort of like, "What are you talking about? This guy's good. He's valuable. He's important."
But
do you understand? Do you understand my perspective?
But what I'm there's a big but let me hold on. Let me just respond to that.
Good.
There is a semantical difference between Dave saying I'm going to fire them and Dave being like, I think this might go down a road where I have no choice but to fire them.
No, it's not that different. Because
no, it's not. Because him saying like I think Blind Mike is going to stand by what he said, and then Kirk's going to bail out, and I'm going to be forced to fire them is different than like
exactly what
I don't care about them. I'm going to fire them. So we weren't responding to like Dave being like, I'm going to ruin your life.
Correct. Well, I thought it would end with Blind Mike not backing down, and then you defending him, and then you both be gone. That's how I thought it would go. So I was happy that Blind Mike.
You're happy Blind Mike's here.
Well, no, I was happy that Blind Mike was willing to kiss my feet, which I gallantly said I want no part of that. And it didn't go down that way, but I thought it was.
See, I think there's this little New York crew in my mind that gets mad when I call them sensitive.
You mean
they bitch to each other? The Riggs, K. Marco, sort of.
I don't think it's necessarily.
We don't.
I think there's like almost like a mailing list.
I think there is a part though of what you definitely do.
Now keep in mind, I'm conspiratorial.
You have private conversations that you then use for content and make Barstool people look bad when that's
hold on,
Mike look bad.
Well, hold on. I actually don't agree with that.
Well, I do.
Like when?
Like the one that you and I had that led to the Blind Mike.
Well, I assume when you and I talk that you know I'm going to talk about the show.
I certainly know that.
And there have been times where you said you can't talk about X and X. Have I talked about it? Have I talked about that stuff?
On your show?
Yes. Well, not that you would have any idea.
No.
But you would know about it. Yeah. So there are things you say, hey, listen, this is, and so, I mean, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you say to me, hey, like Blind Mike's an idiot, well, I'm going to tell him that you think he's an idiot.
But I didn't say he was an idiot.
But I'm saying as an example.
Like he thought for that particular thing, I didn't really single out. Like I actually the blog was written like good. Like I thought it was a fair blog. It's just it's not him who I want doing it. I said that in the call. It had nothing to do against. Now, do I think he's dumb and do I not trust him? And if I liked him and thought he was worthy of a job, would he have come with me to New York?
Can I guess?
Absolutely.
I'm going to say I'm going to say you're a fan.
Right. All right. Maybe we should do a break. Great first segment. These people at Tequila Chicas are just trying to have some nachos and cerveza.
And they're like, these people are on the same team? I can't believe it.
Well, that's it.
Is it going to be 10 hours of this?
We've never been in a situation at Barstool, I think, where the same team is very much feels like a lot of times not the same team. And not you and I.
Well, hold on. Like, because of me?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, because of my little podcast in Watertown, Massachusetts?
Well, you go around, as Riggs would say,
one of the most labor-friendly
Did you see
studios in America?
Jerry Callahan?
With Thornton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Why? That was...
Because I like Jerry.
Listen,
you can't win.
For those who don't know this, so Jerry, who I like Jerry.
I know, but that was my issue with it. Go ahead.
So Jerry Callahan
started
his old podcast.
Yep.
His old radio show host and somebody I've known for a long time and started his own podcast, and he asked if Jerry asked me, he's like, can I go on his podcast and talk about the Patriots? I said no. I didn't give the reason. I told Jerry no. I'm like, no, it's a podcast. I feel like it's very competitive to...
It's really not, though.
That's fine, but it was out of...
I went on it.
I didn't know that.
I mean, but you want to know my issue with it, though? And it's fine. Like, I appreciate you did that with my show in mind. I do appreciate that. But my thing was, I said to Callahan, I was like, Jerry, I thought was pretty loyal to you during the whole... when you got kicked off EEI. Like, Callahan defended you on the air. He reached out to you. Like, I think that, he
didn't really defend me on the air, but he did.
Oh, he did. No, he did. He did. I remember he did. But I would say, like, you can...
I like Jerry.
You're in charge.
Loyal.
Like, if he goes on with Thornton, I personally have no issue with it.
Right.
So if you want to... That's great.
But to me, and why, and again, this is a leader of men, and why you may appreciate me now on 10 different levels. And I don't want to ask you, because if you didn't, it puts you in a situation I wouldn't want to be in if I were you. Be like, no, it's competitive.
Oh, I don't mind talking about that, though. That's fine. I don't mind that.
So that's why it's better off, you know what? If he has a problem with it, it's me. As opposed to you, who you have a better relation.
It's amazing. There's so much going on. It's incredible to watch this.
This is how you build an empire.
I appreciate this.
Every perspective.
20 different levels.
Right, so I got so many of these things going on.
It's
and
weird.
then I got a blind guy wandering around Miami that is taking, if he even takes 0.1% of my brain power, he's setting everybody back. We're going to be staying in that hostel across the street.
Okay. We don't want that. Okay. We got 9.5 more hours. So stay tuned. Very exciting.
So am I. I'm sweating all day, though.
We're going to go to break. We're going to step away. We are live from Tequila Chica's in Miami. We'll be back in a few minutes.
People walk out. They don't know what this is. Say that.
All right. We are back. We're about a half hour into this. Positive vibes only on Barstool Radio.
Well, I think we've made... Riggs and I think have made some progress.
I do.
I think Riggs is still mad at me. That's fine. I don't. Look,
I was never mad at you.
My life is beautiful.
Look, your product is controversy, so I just consider it like a boy who cries wolf thing. You're mad at this person, that person.
But I think
the fans are chirping me or Cal or whoever.
But I think you can tell.
Really
I think I could tell. You're a little angry about it.
I wasn't angry. I just wanted to bring it up. I got people coming up to me in the hotel like, "How do you think it's going to go with Kirk today?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Every day,
it's fucking radio. I don't really care.
Say this.
I didn't think it was that big of a deal because you and I have always got along. But I think you do meddle in controversy. That's just what you do.
I will say this. Mm-hmm. I think there's a difference sometimes since you're not in the office. It's easier to do controversy when you get to face the person.
Oh, Dave. I mean, it was every day of my life at EI. It's just not true. I did this every day.
Well, then I take what I've said back. But
I think it's accepted differently.
I'm more at ease with you in person.
Yes.
Right. So you want me to move to New York? You want to see me every day?
No, I don't want to be the guy who pushes you over the edge. I don't want that. Anyways, we're reminiscing that actually the first time that Kirk and I met.
Kind of sweet you remembered, yeah.
Media Day in Arizona, the Deflategate year, we saw each other Media Day. And then I used to go on Dennis and Callahan from the Super Bowl, and he had me one year in Houston. It was like, what time were you guys on? Like 7 a.m.?
No, we started in Houston. We started in Phoenix at 4 because it was 2 hours. Houston, we started at 5.
So I had my alarm. This is when young Dave was still chasing, any publicity could get. Right. Yeah. Now, if you ask me, hey, this little rinky-dink show in Boston wants you up at 7 a.m., I'd be like, go fuck yourself. But at the time, I was like, anything I can get, I'll do. They had me drive an hour in traffic, rush hour morning traffic, to do an interview in a hotel. I got there, and I just did it on my cell phone. So I was like, you're telling me I could have been in my hotel room doing this?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was something.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, now we got that. I'm sure there'll be more, but, the big news, obviously.
I really doubt it.
It definitely won't be the end of it.
Nope.
It was the Kobe story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it was. We were talking yesterday on Foreplay today about this. It was hard to envision or think about a death or a moment that was like a bigger news shock than this one.
We said the only moment, and maybe we're forgetting that it could come up as shocking, like, oh my God. And obviously it varies age. Like,
yes.
You could put the JFK thing, people obviously going to remember where they are for that.
Lennon.
9/11.
Yeah,
I remember exactly. And when they said Magic at AIDS.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was.
Those were all like
the high school basketball practice. And I think for a lot of people, Princess Diana too.
Yep.
And I think if that was on social media. The big difference is this is the first real Twitter era death like this.
Yes.
I mean, when Whitney Houston died, all due respect, I don't think people were bowled over or shocked. Prince, kind of the same thing. Michael Jackson, sort of the same thing.
Was Whitney Houston, because the Grammys...
It was that night, I think.
Yeah, because people are saying they didn't cancel it for Whitney Houston. I don't know. This is...
I mean, you're going to cancel... I mean...
It was a little different. I don't think you can cancel it. But the fact that it's at the Staples Center...
You had people congregating as...
But something that big, you just can't say we're going to cancel... And I mean, let's be honest about this. It's very sad. It's very sad that his daughter died and the other people died as well. And sad that Kobe Bryant died. But I think we have gone here collectively, including the Barstool Twitter account, which changed its avatar to Kobe Bryant.
Right.
I think it's gone a little over the top.
Well, we're sports.
I think we're getting a little like this is a human being. I mean,
It depends on your situation. I talked about it a little bit. For me, I'm a Celtics fan, so I hated Kobe like most of his playing career, if not all of it. I was not a fan of him.
I'm sure you took plenty of shots at him on social media, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
So it wasn't... I wasn't in the move to tears category, but when anybody that is that famous and you're just accustomed to being, seeing him time to time, and he's just been a fabric of your life growing up, dies that tragically, it makes you take a step back. What it did, it's just, life's fragile. I mean, I'm not being fake about that.
That tweet, yeah.
That's how I felt. It wasn't so much like, I'm not going to lose sleep that he in particular died, but if I was a Laker fan or an NBA guy who grew up and he's affected.
Is Tom Brady... Forget the off the field stuff with Kobe, which I think is part of the story. People are trying to ignore it. I'm not sure why, but would it be like Brady dying? Is it on that scale?
If Brady died, that to me would be something that would affect me a lot more than.
No, but I'm saying for some kid who's whatever 32 who lives in L.A. right, grew up in L.A. and has been a Kobe fan since he was 12.
Yes,
right. It'd be like Larry Bird dying from
correct, right,
20 years.
Right.
As a 20-year-old now, when I see older people older than that. Getting a little. I mean, we were overcooking it here on social media. Let's take a.
I think it really varies person to person.
Let's take a deep breath. When people are telling me to hug my kids, I got it.
But
I've had things happen in my life. I've got it. I've got the perspective. I'm good. I don't need.
Well, I don't agree with that. I do feel like it's a hug your kids moment, regardless of.
But yeah, hug your kids. I don't know. I don't need this. I just don't need that.
I guess. I'm the reverse of that. I feel like I get caught up in a week and 2 weeks, and I don't call my whatever. It's just you take everything for granted a little. And you may be everyone's different, but for me, that is holy shit. I take helicopters all the fucking time.
It was also magnified by the videos of he and his daughter at the game and all that. It made you very much be like, oh, shit, I better hug this person or that person. So I think that elevated it to a whole nother level. And as the details came out, it was worse and worse and worse. But it was,
right.
On the show, I was saying that I think since 9/11, it was the most shocking piece of news since 9/11.
Well, I would put personally, maybe because I lived there, I was 2 miles away from it. For me, the marathon bombing is more impactful.
Also shocking.
Bryant dying.
Totally.
I mean,
that's what
little children dying, which happened here as well. I mean, it was attack.
And there's other news things that come out that are more
ranking
impactful.
it is ranking
totally.
anyways. I know what you're saying.
Yes, but more just for the average person across the country at shock value, it was
the size of it was.
If I put it this way, there's plenty of people who could have been as unfortunate and tragic and would have caused the same reaction to me, but I wouldn't have been as personally like this guy versus that. It would have to be somebody that I was connected to, followed, really admired, rooted for. Kobe's not one of those guys. It was more just shock, holy shit, life is fragile.
If Big Cat died yesterday in the helicopter crash,
what a question.
Do you change the Barstool avatar to him?
I don't know what we do in that.
But I'm just saying, why is Kobe getting this?
Well,
that's
a national story for
I'm just trying
a Barstool Sports.
Shout out Big Cat. You're comparing him to Kobe's.
No, I mean,
I think he's a more important figure at Barstool.
Oh,
Kobe
absolutely,
Bryant.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to answer that. I don't even know what we do if any of us, something happened to that. The Kobe thing, I think, Barstool Sports, and we try, even though we're Boston Northeast, we're trying to be national, and there's fans there. So that's kind of the thought process. And
I also think, I know you mentioned Ari earlier there, his tweet, but I do think, there's been enough praise for this guy. I'm fine with that. He seemed like a good dad. He seemed like the second half of his life was a good life, but I do think you can spend some time focusing on what seems to me, I've looked at this, one night where he did something very horrible. I do think that's part of the conversation. I don't think I don't think yesterday afternoon was a spot for it.
I don't disagree with that. It's fair when you look at the entire story.
I think he did it. So
that's fine.
So I mean, the idea that now we're in this Me Too era and everyone's acting like he's this god among men. Well, I mean, where are we with this?
I don't disagree that it's fair to evaluate all of it, and you should. Yesterday, today, the next week, 2 weeks, nothing like that.
We talked about yesterday. I mean, we talked about today on the podcast because I do think that's part. But I think you can say, hey, great player. We talked about earlier. I think he's the 6th or 7th best player who ever lived. Seemed like an awesome dad. I don't know that, but he seemed like a great dad. Seemed like a good guy for the last 20 years. But again, you can slot that in there. Why? I don't think that's. People get all worked up. I don't think that's a big deal.
I also think it would be tough to tell the victim, or if you're a victim of sexual assault or this victim or whatever, today's not the day, because they could very easily be like, yeah, it wasn't the fucking day in Colorado either.
Totally. But and how do you think the victim felt?
Right. So that's. Right. I do think that's you have to. That's part of the legacy. Yeah. You have to address it, or you have to, or you can't be super upset with people for addressing.
If Kevin Spacey died yesterday in the helicopter crash, or Louis C.K., do you think that this would Kobe's was very unlucky for the time at the end of his life? He was very lucky that what he did happened. If it happened 3 years ago, 2 years ago, he'd be looked at completely different.
Well, and again, You can make your decision on it. I mean, he was not found guilty of it.
Well, I mean, but I understand.
But I still don't think now you got to let the time pass. But I agree with you. When his whole story is written, that's part of the story. You can't omit it. And I even read, I think it was Bill Plaschke, the L.A.
Oh, that was over the top. Jesus.
But even he did include that.
He did
in the article.
But he also started a story saying that he was screaming, crying, and pounding his keyboard.
That's newspaper guys. But again, it's an L.A. guy.
I mean, that's a little, you know.
But it's totally part of the story. But for the most part, there is no perfect people out there. And obviously he was accused at one point of a heinous crime. And that will be part of his story. I don't think when somebody dies with their daughter tragically in an accident nobody expected.
Well, you need to be jumping up and down and celebrating.
That is correct.
But also, like, I got to say, I mean, at one point yesterday, I'm seeing over a 15-minute span on social media, right? Kobe Bryant's dead. TMZ has it. Okay. All of his daughters are dead. None of his daughters are dead.
Crazy.
Two of his daughters are dead. Rick Fox is dead. I'm sitting here thinking,
what? What did you think of TMZ reporting it before the family knew?
I think that's kind of part of the business. Like, they had the story. I mean, the other thing I would say is once TMZ that meant it was true. Like, TMZ is got the market cornered on that stuff.
TMZ is true.
I saw some people saying, "Oh, this is bullshit,"
because the site went down, so it looked like they maybe got
it. Also, like when I first clicked on the TMZ, you were thinking because he was in the news the night before because of LeBron and all that.
It was some weird.
Right. It's almost like there's no way this could be true.
I also thought it was like a fake TMZ for a second.
Yes, that's kind of what I thought.
Satellite things.
But that's how shocking the news is.
Oh, correct.
No
question.
You're looking for something. I mean, I saw the BBC we asked this on the rundown. When can you crack even minuscule jokes? Like, I didn't retweet, but the BBC, the main BBC ran the story and then just had highlights of LeBron.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
I didn't see that.
That's crazy.
That's a little rough.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I also had room service. The guy brought me coffee today, and everyone's talking. He's like, man, that Kobe news, right? I'm like, yeah, it's terrible. And he's like, at least he lived long enough to see LeBron break his record.
That's true.
But I was like, do you think he wanted to?
That's what was going on in his mind when the helicopter.
So it's just, when with anything like this, do you get back to a degree of normalcy? Who knows? 24 to 48 hours.
Kirk, what'd you think about the Cuban and the Mavs retiring 24?
I think deep breaths are needed when things like this happen. I don't really care, but like we're getting a little over the top again. Like, let's relax.
Well, let me ask
even the 24-second thing I thought was kind of.
Let me ask, and again,
it's fine, but
he's affected so many of the players in the league and growing up.
Sure.
It's like and I know you can't, but take the part out where. Take that one instant, one moment. Just asking hypothetically.
Sure, it's a huge part, but yeah.
But then to me, it's a no-brainer to retire.
Around the league?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, it's but I mean, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. But what is it? It's a gesture. It's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to get worked up about that. But it does seem like everyone here is like, you get in the social media thing where everyone's trying to top everybody.
Totally.
With stuff like just relax. Great player. Can we just take a deep breath? I don't know.
It'll be fascinating to like study even in the future how everything unfolded yesterday on Twitter because like you're saying that was the biggest by far death moment in like when everybody is so hyper involved on Twitter and watching it all unfold was. I mean, they had the fucking number wrong the whole day for like 3 hours. They had the number of people.
Yeah.
All the dollars know the dollars. Hey, I'm the first one to raise my hand and say during the Boston Marathon bombings we wrongly convicted like 10 people. Right. I mean, we had a big audience.
We were on the air, too. We would look at these texts and see these stories because you wanted things to be true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, ABC News can't be saying that all the kids are dead.
But that is, and 100%, that is the problem, not problem, the issue that essentially the Barstool Sports of the world's created. We don't play by rules for the most part. So, like, when the marathon bombings were going on, I'm sure other news organizations had the information we had. We just went with it.
But you wouldn't do that today, though.
No, we wouldn't.
7 years later or whatever. Well, yeah, it'll be 7 years. You wouldn't do that.
Because nobody cared back then for us. Now it's like, everyone points the finger.
And we also like cut our chops doing that during dumb shit, like sports games or Super Bowl. It's when we kind of just take anything and throw it out there. And then when you get into a very serious situation, it's wildly different.
Yeah, it is. Once you're big enough where people are taking what you say seriously or true, you can't wrongly convict somebody. You can't report the wrong. I mean, how the hell did Rick Fox get thrown into the thing?
I think one person tweets it, right? And then a bunch of people just want it. Everyone wants to be first, which I understand. But, like, it's one thing to be first on a player getting traded. It's nothing getting, like, there are people in Kobe Bryant's life who, they may have reached out to, who saw that all the kids were dead.
Right.
And you're like, what?
But that's why when you say it's the world we live in, it can't be right, because even if you're part of that family, and that's how you hear, I guess any way you hear the news is going to be horrific, but you see it on your timeline, it's crazy.
All right, we are due for a break. We're obviously talking Kobe and the horrible tragedy that happened yesterday. We have Kirk, Dave, and myself, Barstool Radio live from Miami. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Probably the only show where you can get 30 minutes of three guys yelling at each other about infighting. I
think it's been pretty social, pretty civil. I don't think it's been. You'll be yelling this week.
And we'll get the calls. You can call. It sounded like the calls are actually working better than they usually do when we do remote. So the number is 833-857-8665, 85-STOOL, that is. And we can take those after the break. Is your ex-colleagues here? EEI, they Super Bowl week?
No, because the Patriots
can't afford it.
Yeah, that part of it, too. I don't know what's going on. I'm impressed with how I've been able to remove myself from that situation and not get caught up in that part of it. Because it can eat you up.
I will say it's a lot. Well, I shouldn't put it, because I am, like you, sometimes a revenge guy, but the fact that you're at a much more successful operation than that. Question. So that certainly helps.
And I've said, I've said this all along, like there's been some blog issues. I don't really care about those. I don't think there's been, to my knowledge, a single word edited out of the podcast yet.
No.
It's...
Well, and here's part of the issue with the blog thing. What I've learned through doing this, and even when we hired, what is spoken, for some reason, maybe there's context, does not have the ripple effect necessarily that words do.
So you might know that, but I've gotten in some trouble too, but it's always been for things I say.
Yeah, but that's been your career for the most part,
that's
right?
True, I guess. But I suppose. Yeah, but I think, yes.
Because it's a lot easier to take snippets in Twitter and listen to it.
But you can make a soundbite
totally
out of context.
You really can, but it's easier to... It travels faster, the word, for whatever reason.
And it sticks.
I also saw a prop bet they have on here, and again, it's not crazy. I don't know who had it, but whether I would get arrested this week. And I can promise you I'm not, if you want to hammer that, because I'm not going to media day. One of the things I've always said, I only go when the Patriots are in it, and it just has happened that the Patriots have been. This is the first time in the Super Bowl the Patriots aren't in it. You want to talk about spoiled. And by the way, I fucking hate being here. Like, I'm not going to be one of those losers walking around in a Packers jersey or like some, I don't know, Ravens jersey.
I don't think anybody thought that was going to be the case.
Walking around. No, but people walk here. I've never understood.
Oh, you mean like the random fan?
Losers who come here and wear their team. Yeah. You're a loser. Your team didn't make it. There's like, I see a guy in the Dolphins. I guess you're in Miami. You can wear Dolphins.
He's still a loser, though.
Dolphins you can wear. But I saw the number one franchise that is always here who's not represented, Packers. The Packers, this is their family trip.
You live in the fucking frozen tundra.
Oh, somewhere warm.
It doesn't matter. They'll go to Minnesota. It's like, do you want to go to Italy?
That's crazy.
Super Bowl, and they're like, let's go Super Bowl. What if the Packers aren't in it? Who cares? We can bring our pale asses to the Super Bowl and wear, like, I don't know, an old, like, Bart Starr jersey. That's what they do. They're the number one team. You get here late, Packer fans.
I don't think it's that crazy for folks to be out there betting that there's a chance you somehow try to make this week about Goodell or you or the Patriots that it could end up in a problematic situation.
I will say they have the Super Bowl banners on Collins, and I was walking down, and I didn't realize it, but it's every ring. So every banner on the light pole
represents a...
I walked, and there were so many Patriot rings. I thought they just put the Patriot. I thought it's like they assumed the Patriots would be there. It's like, oh, a Patriot ring, a Patriot ring, a Patriot ring, a Patriot ring.
Isn't it weird?
I'm like, it's only the Patriots.
But, you're at the point now, you realize this could be like it was before. I mean, you could go another 30 years now. Very easily.
No, I think...
very, very easily.
I think Brady's coming back.
Yeah, but they're not going to win next year if he comes back.
I disagree.
Okay, but he's going to be 43. So it's something...
Whether he won at 41.
Okay, but let's say next year he comes back. Fine, one more year. Then you're like everybody else. You're just hoping. Fingers crossed.
Here's the thing.
That's it. I mean, that's it. And Belichick is going to be like 90 years old.
I saw that idiot, Max Kellerman, say on TV he would rather... Who's the he'd rather the old Dolphins, Tannehill. He'd rather Tannehill than Tom Brady.
I mean, he's just doing that.
That's what he's been doing.
He's lighting himself on fire.
Tom Brady was not the reason the Patriots did not win this year.
No, but if you watch the Patriots play this year, and I understand you're not going to be unbiased about this, he is not as good as he used to be. He's not. He's just
Kirk,
not.
That's the first thing you've said that has offended me.
Oh, it's true.
I am unbiased when it comes to the Patriots. He was they didn't have the weapons.
Hey, it's a lot
Gronk,
of excuses.
David Andrews.
You sound like talking about now. You're like talking.
Well, you don't think
losing 20
losing
years ago.
Gronk and David Andrews and
sure.
Dola.
But if Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, that really shouldn't matter.
Well,
he used to carry these teams all the time.
That's not always true.
Weapons.
We lost to the Ravens by 40 in a wild card game.
True, that's true.
So there's been times
and
they
at that
haven't
point,
won.
At that point, he was like 31.
But people,
Dave, he's 40.
People wrote him off then.
Yeah, but it's over. The dynasty is over.
The way you got sidetracked there, Kirk, like your eyes diverted, I thought Blind Mike had entered the building.
You're very concerned about this.
Sure.
You're very concerned about this. You're very concerned.
It is strange being at the Super Bowl without the Patriots.
Get used to it.
It doesn't even feel like anyone cares about it. I haven't heard much talk about it. You could say it's Kobe. You could say it's the Patriots. But it just doesn't feel like the Super Bowl.
Thoughts on Jimmy G? You're rooting against the Niners?
Right. I get asked that a lot. People are saying, like, it's a no-win situation for if the Niners. I don't know, Kansas City I don't really care about, but here's the thing about Jimmy G. I like him. The fact that the Patriots already won, and either he was going, it was him or Brady, and then they do have the Super Bowl, and you can't really say anything about like when the Peyton Manning won with the Broncos, that wasn't his Super Bowl. You could have put anybody could have played quarterback. The rest of the team won. They're running the ball down people's throats. He threw the ball like 8 times the other way. So it's not Jimmy G. I'm not going to be like, oh, that trade. If the 49ers run the ball like they've been running ball, they're going to win. And it's old Denver Broncos, Shanahan. It's old Cowboys.
Right.
It's not Jimmy G.
And it is like if every move that you do as an NHL franchise is to try to win a Super Bowl and the Patriots won a Super Bowl, then it's hard to argue that they didn't do the right thing.
They weren't keeping both of them. That was clear.
All right, welcome back to Barstool Radio. We once again are live from Miami. We're at Tequila Chicas. We are in South Beach. We've got Kirk, Dave, and myself. We'll be taking some calls. We can run a little bit through some Barstool stuff. I don't know if you want to comment, Dave, Kirk, on Trista, on the Crick.
So I haven't been following it. No,
I
need more information. I think the bigger story. No, I don't want to talk about that because I don't know enough about it. The bigger thing is Tyler O'Day. This just came across the news wire. Tyler O'Day is singing the national anthem at a UMass basketball game. That's fucking insane. And I also see this cross-border story with the picture of my horse losing at Pegasus, which was devastating. But let's take some calls. I said we'd take calls. We got calls, so we can do this. I think they work. We'll see how they go. James, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Prez? Go Prez, go.
Yeah, I can hear clearly.
Brick by brick. Prez, I just wanted to ask you, as well as Riggsy and Kirk, Super Bowl picks, obviously over, under, in the spread, but I'm also really curious to throw my life savings on heads or tails for the coin flip. I want to get your take on that. Over, under for the national anthem is also at 2 minutes. Demi Lovato singing. Where you stand?
I'm not going to answer that stupid question you asked about heads or tails, putting like your life savings on. That was what my problem was with that movie with my brain's definitely dying.
Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
You didn't like it? I know you had that issue with it.
Yeah, and as Rear Admiral pointed out, he placed a sports bet at Mohegan.
That's true.
So I just don't know how.
Also, the timing with the Garnett. To me, the Garnett thing was the worst part of the movie.
I thought Garnett was good at it.
He was, but like the obsession with the actual jam was stupid.
Yeah.
It didn't do much for me.
I did like the movie. Those seem like things you don't overlook as a gambler. So you're never going to bet that much on heads or tails. Demi Lovato, rumor on the street is she's a long singer, so I go long. As far as the game, it's super early in the week, but I kind of hinted at it, and I'm sure we'll talk more as the week goes on. I really think the 49ers are going to jam the ball down the Chiefs' throat. They're going to run. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to stop them. They'll put up points. The 49ers' defense is terrific, so I think the 49ers are going to win and win pretty easily as of now. Now, I have been doing Barstool Sports Advisors, and every time I like somebody, I pick against it, and I've been lights out. So do what you want with that.
Yeah, Niners, I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball. I'm going to take the under because I think they're going to control the clock. I think they're going to keep it out of Mahomes' hands, and I think that they are going to run show pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I got no idea.
Are you just not are you even going to watch the game?
I'll watch some of it.
Are you just not a sports fan?
I'm less and less. Riggs knows. I watch golf. Like I will.
That's it.
If the LPGA is playing in Europe against the Super Bowl and it's close, I'll watch that.
Yeah, we've talked about that quite a bit.
Wild.
I mean, people that like golf. Shout out to us.
I host a sports. I will watch Super Bowl. I actually like Garoppolo. We interviewed him a few times when Brady's out. Very nice guy. I actually like him more than Brady. So I'm rooting for San Francisco.
Remember that time though? You got on your knees for Brady?
No.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
There was some issue he had with it.
Yeah, I know. I went to Minnesota. I went to Minnesota. I understand all that. I wanted to ask you real quick before you go to the next call. I talked to you when I was wandering around today. Hugh Grant seemed like an asshole.
I don't know if this, so you're referring to the pizza review that I did with the Gentleman. By the way,
no. Oh, you didn't. Okay.
By the way, so I did a pizza review, The Cast of the Gentleman, which I think just came out. That movie.
What's his face? Seemed like a nice guy though. The guy
Matthew McConaughey.
No, the other guy who was a big he's a Barstool guy, like the British guy.
Golding
or something?
Yeah. He's in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew
Henry Golding was a legitimate stoolie.
You could tell.
Yes.
He goes deep on stool scenes.
Yes.
Hugh Grant seemed like it was the last place on earth he wanted to be.
Now, a lot of times I will say, Barstool Sports is an interesting group in that if you like us and you know who we are, you really like us and we're well known.
Sure.
And people may be more excited to see somebody from Barstool than some of those people in that video. Now, if you don't know, you're Hugh Grant and you're going from this to,
Jimmy Fallon or something.
Correct.
Right.
And you're like, why am I eating pizza with this idiot?
But,
who green-lighted this?
But that doesn't mean you should be a dick about it.
I think he was just out of place.
Or better than.
Yeah. Like, you talked to him a little bit beforehand. I think he was just old and out of place for it.
Yeah,
he didn't come across great.
No, okay. But he was all right, though?
I knew when we did it, it's like he even like...
Who's the worst you've ever dealt with?
I've said this. The worst I've ever dealt with, and somebody told me it was like right when he broke up, was the wrestler who dated one of the Bella twins.
Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Really? I heard he's a very nice guy.
Now, we were early, so there's like a half an hour of off time.
Yeah.
And he was cold, didn't want to talk. He lit it up. He did a great pizza review, and then he turned it off the second it was over.
You think he was just sad?
Someone said that's like literally the day he broke up with, so maybe that was it. Everybody has bad days.
You catch him on a sad day. What are you going to do?
Most of the time that we do pizza, it's unlike that. There are people who like Barstool. So, if Scott Van Pelt's coming to do it, he's excited. They're not going to be a jerk. So it's hard to get the true character.
Who was the one who didn't get out of the car?
Oh, rappers are the worst.
I remember that. That was like a year ago, wasn't it?
My brain is literally getting eaten alive here. He has a famous song.
I'm not going to.
Is it Soldier Boy?
Soldier Boy.
Yes.
Soldier Boy got high, did some sort of drugs in the car, and then wouldn't get out after we waited for like 45 minutes. And then there was another guy who wouldn't get out of the car. Paris. Jesus. I don't know if my brain's dying because Adderall and drugs.
That's probably a factor.
I think it's both.
Whatever the case may be. So, anyways, the Gentleman, that movie came out today, or
last week,
available. I guessed 86 Rotten Tomato for the public score. It's 85. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
How much stock you put in Rotten Tomatoes?
A lot. I put all my stock in the
audience part of it.
Yes, not the critics.
Critics, I pay no attention. Yep. In fact, I think it's a very good sign if critics are like 15 to 20 lower. Then
I saw this. All the critics killed this last Star Wars. I liked it.
I thought it was good. Right?
Yeah, it was fine. It got like 30. Audience was like 90%.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it kind of gave most people what they wanted.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
It's a joyful little watch.
Yeah.
Bill, you're on the air. What's up, Bill?
Hey, go Pros, go.
French Montana.
How you did at Pegasus? Excuse me?
Sorry, I was answering. French Montana was the other rapper who wouldn't get a car to eat pizza. So this time I went in. It's like, I don't give a fuck who you are, French Montana. Like, don't give a fuck. How did I do at Pegasus? So Elio and I were at Pegasus, big horse race weekend. I had a horse running in the 10th race, cross-border. It's the best horse I own. All right, and he won 3 times Saratoga. I think it was 9-2, $200,000 race. And boy, he was home. He had the lead coming down the stretch. Looked for all the world that he was going to win. I also bet a trifecta with him on top for non-horse people. That means as long as he won, I would get whatever the trifecta paid. You're hoping for like bombs to come in behind it. Second place coming down was 35-1. It's an expensive bet to place because you have a lot of combinations. The second place horse, 35-1, jumped up and beat me literally at the wire. The worst part of it, there's a very popular club in Miami called 11. Mm-hmm. Strippers meets club. You go to a strip club, but you don't feel like you're in a strip club. Is essentially what it is.
I got kicked out of that. Escorted out of that club.
Yeah, I took Riggs there, and he was puking in Solo cups. My friend who worked there, he's like, what do you want me to do about your buddy who is projectile vomiting into these? So I said, get him out of here. I don't want to be part of that.
Right.
So
that was my way of saying I don't like this scene. I'm out of here.
I invited one of my friends who works there, and a couple of underlings of his showed up late. I have the text from my friend. He goes, my buddy just bet $500 on the 11, 30-1. He's burning money. This kid showed up in shorts, and because he worked at 11, bet on 11. The 11 is the long shot who jumped up and beat my horse. And then this kid, I came back to our suite. He's throwing his money all over the place. I've never hated anybody more. It was tragic, to say the least. So that's how my Pegasus went. To Elio's credit, he won the last race, and we won a little bit. This is tough.
This is going to be nightmares for Dave. Tough. Sad.
Salute to Colonel. Red Knight, blue cap, 4 outside, starts to hit high gear, and they're at the top of the stretch. Many chances here, but Rosario rolling on Red Knight down the stand side, has to get cross-border, who has the lead. Spooky Channel is up into second. Appreciato and Red Knight are next. Final eighth of a mile. Cross-border has the lead. Spooky Channel runs at him on the outside. This is going to get close. It's going to be Spooky Channel.
Oof. Little PTSD there.
If you watch it, and you can't watch on radio, that's one of the things about radio.
Sounds great in radio,
It's
though,
not TV.
Yeah.
I almost puked listening to that again. It's really tough.
I did as well.
Andrew, it's a $100,000 swing now. As for
Yeah.
Andrew.
That's not why I puked.
I feel bad.
Well, I puked.
Okay.
Andrew, what's up?
Hi there, Dave. I'm currently living in London, and we had the NFL series 4 times this year in London. 2019, and what do you think about the possibility of it possibility dying out in Europe? Do you think in the next couple of years?
Of it dying out?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I don't mean to be a jerk, but I don't care. Who cares?
Well, just like the NFL wants to be global, we want to be global. But why would they ever stop going to London?
It's not going to happen. Why would they do that?
They won't. That's the question.
Dummy.
James, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Love the show. Hey, I was just wondering if there's a chance that you would make like a Kobe shirt and maybe donate the money to like his family foundation.
Well, I got to be honest.
Yeah.
You do charity shirts, like of all the horrible shit for the family. He's somebody probably don't have to worry about money necessarily.
I saw his net worth was about $700 million.
Yeah, so I think the charity, and we get asked to do charity all the time. So you can't do it for everybody. You try to do it for people who truly, truly, truly need the money. Money will not be an issue. I mean, this guy's name is spelled A-N-A-S. Is someone trying to play a joke on me here?
Anas.
Anas.
Yeah, I think it's French.
What do you got, Anas? Good. How are you? What's your name?
My name is Anas.
Anas.
What is that?
Yes, sir. From Minnesota. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Who names their?
Saudi Arabian?
Was the
land of the Anus,
not
yeah.
have mean anything in
My
Saudi
beautiful-
Arabia?
Well, I don't think
Beautiful
I don't
mother
think it's
named me Anas.
It could be. It might be different spelling.
Yeah, I don't
different
think
words. I don't know.
I think it's a different language
No,
there.
there's
It could be.
There's no U in it. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, but it's close. Like, do people call you Anus?
Oh, I get it. I get it mixed up all the time.
I mean, your mother
No way.
is like, that's pretty fucking.
Well, I don't
mean.
think. Again, I
all
don't
the time.
think she
I'll tell
knew
you
that.
what. I had a substitute teacher in elementary through high school. Had her for about 15 years, and she never got my name right. Called me Anus every single time.
I mean, it's on your mother. No offense. Not like I looked at it and I thought I was having like who's when Bart Simpson would call like Mo and just try to get it to say stupid
Or
shit.
that sub was going back with their friends, being like, "I got this." I just call him Anus every time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, Anus, what do you got?
Man, so I'm wondering if you had to put all your money on the line, who's scoring the first touchdown of the Super Bowl?
I mean, these questions are like the running back from San Francisco who fucking runs for 9,000 yards and looks like he's faster than everybody. Whatever his name is. I forget who that
Do you
is.
think this guy's name would be his personality be different if his name was like Terry or something or John?
He doesn't seem
He seems like a pretty optimistic Anus.
remotely phased by it.
No, he's
a big difference is if you're like a dork and ugly looking and your name is Anus, you're fucked. If you're like a cool cat, you can blow it off.
Yeah, you'd probably get a lot of laughs out of it.
Yeah,
it's a conversation.
Like if you were 6'4" instead of like 5'5",
correct,
you'd be a different person.
Correct.
Maybe not successful.
Right. You gotta worry about your name when you're a loser, because then it's
if your name is Anus, that's tough to come back from.
Well, I think like if Tom Brady was Anus Brady,
I don't think he'd be a quarterback. Tom Brady's like Joe Montana is a great name. If it was Anus Montana, he would not be a quarterback.
It actually just sounds like a name from like the black and white era. He's got a kid with the red hairs. I think getting escorted out of here. He's like 6 now. He did a hang loose. and on that anus note, I'm out of here with the kid.
Good point. I didn't think of that.
Matt, what's up?
Hey, Kirky. Hey, Dave. How we doing?
Good.
What's up?
I'm going to go fuck myself.
So I had a question for you, Dave. I was curious why you felt the need to ball wash Kobe all over Twitter yesterday when your Twitter history is loaded with tweets and articles you wrote repeatedly calling him a rapist. I also found it weird that the articles that those tweets linked to have all been deleted by Barstool.
I haven't deleted anything. And when you say ball wash, I think the first tweet I just did was the life is fragile.
Yeah, which was...
But that's true. And
which is below you.
He's an inspirational quote.
No.
I know.
That's not below.
It's one of his more peculiar.
That's not below me at all. That's exactly what I said. I said it wouldn't have mattered who it was necessarily, but if somebody that public and you're that used to in your life passes away suddenly, tragically, it makes you take a step back. That life is fragile. So
you took a step back?
Yeah.
And you thought life was fragile? You didn't think life was fragile before yesterday?
I think I'm indestructible.
Do you think 3 days from now you'll think life is fragile?
I think I'll probably go back to, and I said that.
It just goes away.
Right. So the tweet is
meaningless.
How is that ball washing Kobe?
Well, I didn't see the other stuff. What I'm saying is
I did two tweets.
I think you might be talking about Barstool in general.
Barstool Sports.
Yes, the overall.
So then he could ask that to you then.
Why ask me?
Well, what? I don't run our social.
Well, I don't either.
All right, so he said me.
You're also like the head of content.
The face of the company.
If we decide to change the avatar and all that, I think people could.
Yeah, I asked that. I was on KFC. I was on KFC this morning with.
Again, but what I say about Kobe is my own personal throughout the years. I considered him obviously. I didn't play. He was a rival of mine. I was a Celtics fan.
Sure,
I'm not gonna fucking like Kobe.
No, but I know I was. Listen, I was bummed out. I was a junior in high school when Magic got diagnosed. I hated the Lakers. Like, I was bummed out, but I was also 16.
Right. No, but...
I asked, I was on KFC this morning with KFC and Fights. I said, we tried to figure out, did you make the call to change the avatar? Is that a you call?
I believe that's a Gaz. He's like, can we change it? I'm like, sure. And I think it's a good look for us, to be honest. That's why I let it go.
How long does that last for?
It's going back tomorrow.
Okay.
You have a real problem with that, don't you?
I don't have a problem with them. Just asking questions.
The whole world's mourning.
You know what? I shouldn't say. I have a little problem with it. Yeah, I do. I have a little. That's true. Yeah, I have a little problem with it.
It's also
a little strong.
So let me ask you this. This was also something that Paul Gaz, who does social, is like, should we post over? Like, Kobe died. The tragic news hit. Above it, we have like a girl in bikini at one point for Rough and Rowdy, and then a scheduled post and tweet. And he's like, should we do that? I'm like, no, this is the news. Keep that as the news.
I agree with that.
So, I mean, again, if you read it, like this guy tried to, again, I feel like he maybe would, he was definitely a Minute fan, by the way. He called because he's like, hey, Kirky.
For sure.
Like, I don't think.
Well, but again, you're gonna blame me for that.
No, not at all.
I mean,
but
you did. You probably tweeted some things about Kobe in the best about Colorado, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So I mean,
but that's irrelevant to him saying I ball wash him.
I agree.
I agree.
I didn't see your tweets yesterday.
I had two tweets.
Okay.
The first, which was on there for a long time alone, was a quote that said, tragedy, basically just take a step back and be like, shit, life's fragile. That's all.
Yes.
And then the second one, because I thought it was an amazing video that I had never seen, was his daughter, like they matched it up with her.
I saw that, yeah.
I just thought that was like amazing.
So so my daughter is
that ball washing in your mind?
I don't think so. My daughter is going to be the same age as Kobe in a couple of weeks. Like I can't even, that stuff I can't even watch. I fucking hate it.
So in that Minute fan versus Portnoy, not you, fan, you have to say I won that round, or he just is misrepresenting the facts. I definitely did not I did not ball wash Kobe Bryant.
Why do you hate? These are Barstool fans too.
Well, they are the ones that seem to like, send me pictures of my dead dog, and so that aggravates me.
Sure, I know that. Yeah. I don't like that.
I don't consider those people.
I don't condone that.
Those people are like, hey, let's make fun of Dave and his dead dog.
Right.
Those people I don't consider fans of mine.
Well, they're part of the Barstool
My
universe.
fans wouldn't do that. I've never had someone who identifies themselves as Barstool first ever do that.
Hey, Dave, go Prez, go. Fuck Stella. You never.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen very much.
Yeah, so that's probably makes sense.
Yeah.
And
I disagree, but yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah.
Perry, what's going on?
What's good, Dave? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Just want to let you know.
I'm glad to hear you're good. I'm psyched you're good.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I just wanted to let you know.
I'm pumped. You're pumped.
Sounds pumped, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the pizza reviews, and honestly, I'm actually a student at Stevens Institute of Technology.
Oh, that fake school.
Yeah, the Bucks, whatever.
The Ducks.
Shit about.
I'm in a your duck keeps tweeting at me trying to prove he's real.
Yeah, nah, I'm kidding. I actually go to Rutgers University.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are always talking smack about Jersey schools.
Oh well, Rutgers solves that.
I mean, now our basketball team's ranked. It's pretty lit.
Yeah.
Big
time lit.
I had a question. So, I feel like you guys haven't been throwing those big bangers or whatever for a long time. What made you guys decide to just throw that rough and rowdy party in Miami? I mean, it looks wild, but just wondering why you decided to do that now.
Well, I mean, we threw the same exact party last year. We did the rough and rowdy. Now we added the blackout element to it, the party at the end, because last year people wanted a place to go, and we've done Super Bowl parties. I think the last 4 years. Miami is a little bit different. There's so much more competition and more parties going on, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes because Miami is a party city by nature. You have these huge clubs, all the talents here. I will say our party is a very good deal. There's nothing like Rough and Rowdy. There's nothing like it. I would go if I wasn't part of it. It's funny. It's interesting. I like watching boxing live, and the event will be good. And it's relatively cheap as far as Super Bowl parties go. I think a ticket, open bar, so it'll be a great night.
I love that guy just sitting around his dorm at Rutgers I wonder why they're throwing a party at the Super Bowl.
I mean, Well, that kid came in being like, why are you always making fun of Jersey schools? And then he sounded like somebody who didn't belong in college. So, I mean, he didn't exactly do well for them. Let's see. Dan, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Prez? Quick question on your dad. He sent out a tweet after Kobe died, and he's worried about you taking a private plane.
Let me tell you something about my dad. My dad is worried about me crossing the street. My dad is worried about me getting out of the shower when the floor is wet.
That's very sweet.
Well, no, he's just an absolute worrywart.
Yeah, my dad was like that. You get that, but but that's kind of sweet. That means he cares about you.
Yeah, I mean,
appreciate
everything.
that.
It's like my, and he gets it from my grandmother who died. And if you want to put shirts
are being made as we speak.
Fuck you, Dave's dead grandmother. You can try to do that too, Kirk.
Being printed, yeah.
But I remember when I went to look at schools, we drove around the Virginia area, and there was a plane crash in Virginia. And she calls. She's like, "Are you guys all right?" And I'm like, "Well, you knew we were driving." She's like, "But the plane could have landed
hit the car."
on you." Yeah. So that's that side of the family. Mike, what's up? Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Dave. I'm a big fan of yours, but I'm a much bigger Minihane fan. Just wanted to throw in my 2 cents. I think Minihane should be on the radio every day with you. What's up, Kirk?
Well, I mean, Kirk was offered. It was your choice.
No, that's not true. That's not. No, we talked about it at first. Nothing was offered. We just kind of said, "What do you think?" And we talked it out.
Okay, my recollection on that.
I mean, do you want me on the radio every day?
No, it's semantics. It's really up to you. I mean, when we did the deal, you certainly weren't like, "I want." Your podcast is what you seem to be interested.
Yeah.
If you were like, "Hey, I want to do radio," we would have made that work at the time. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Why? You want me to do radio now?
It's really up to you.
That's nice. I don't know. I've done radio.
Right.
I've conquered it.
Correct. So this is one of those conversations where I'm very glad we're on the air because it's.
I literally can't. Riggs, I know you don't like me. Okay. Did I answer that question in any way other than completely fair?
But if
you're in your own arena, I don't know that would have been answered that way.
No, in his own arena, it's like, hey, Dave's the reason like I'm not on radio. It's like, no, it's very clearly.
I've never said that. I've never said that. I said that you wanted me to do the morning show.
Correct.
Well, I mean, so.
Oh wait, that was the original all through. Correct.
Yes.
But you've never shown interest in it.
No, I have not.
And it was never like I hear you say, if I snap my fingers, I get rid of Willie. That's not true either.
And that's a bad instinct.
No, it's not a bad instinct. It's we'd make something work, but it wouldn't be at the expense necessarily.
Nobody can make that work. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
So, and by the way, we do have a new radio lineup coming after the Super Bowl.
Do we have no announcement on that yet?
I know what it is, but I'm not like hiding it. I just don't know if I'm going to get it exactly correct. I know that Brandon Walker will be hosting a noon pick'em show, gambling show. I'll be on it. Big Cat will be on it.
Every day?
Every day.
Instead of the Yak?
The Yak.
I like the Yak.
The Yak's not. The Yak, I think, is just moving.
Okay.
The time the Yak.
Who's getting bumped around here?
Sean Latham's show is getting cut.
Okay.
His show's gone. The Barstool Radio will be an hour. CCK will be an hour. So there's two shows that have been slimmed.
Your dad's still going to be on.
The Cousins, my dad.
Buddy.
My favorite show. I don't want that.
It's a great show.
I don't want it going anywhere. You know it, Riggs.
Oh, well.
If I took away my dad's show, he would be dead within 4 days.
It's kind of like when these people retire and they die.
Yes.
Like, he needs something to do.
Do you think Murray would go with him?
I don't know, but my mother has made...
Is Murray all right, by the way?
In what sense?
He had some surgery, didn't he, or something? I thought, no?
He has a lot of them. I think he's okay.
Okay.
But again,
I'm concerned. I'm a person who's concerned.
Yeah, so it's very clear. My dad loves the show. It's my
very
mitzvah
show.
To him as a
yes.
That is what I've given him back. He raised me here, have the show in meaning basically in his twilight years. So that show's staying
good,
whether Sirius knows it or not, forever. Like we could be gone. I'd work in. He still gets an hour. I don't care. Make up a fake channel for him.
Well, I don't think you have to tell him he's actually on the radio.
Right. He could
he could set something up.
Air.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
So that show's staying. Am I forgetting? Those are the big changes, really.
Did you hear Brandon Walker, the way he arrived? First, he didn't pack any toiletries. He forgot completely to pack any toiletries, so he had to go buy everything.
I do that.
And then
I always do that. I just go to CVS.
Well, then when he walked into the hotel, I guess like Jen and Lisa were there as the greeting party, and he just walked in with nothing, and the cabbie came running up. It was like you left your suitcase in the car.
That's a little weird, yeah.
So he's a little discombobulated.
But I'd say 6 times out of 10 I forget toiletries.
Really?
It's easier because I just go. I did the same thing. I walked over to Walgreens last night and got some stuff.
I intentionally just buy them when I arrive. Spider actually knows. He just runs and gets like what I like and put it in there because you know what? Then you're using it. It's easier to just keep it in your existing bathroom. You're happy when you go home because a lot of times I go home and I don't want to unpack right away. And so like the key things you need is a toothbrush.
Tremendous shower.
I'm not in that hotel.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, well, Riggs is on that floor.
I am. It's a lot. The shower's a lot. It's really nice.
Did you figure it out?
Well, after you get sprayed by some cold and hot water at different times.
Yeah. Once you get it, though, it's good.
Oh, it's great. Water coming out fucking everywhere.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jim, what's up?
Hola!
Hola! How you doing, my man?
Is this your guy?
I don't know.
What's going on?
You just go back.
I have no idea.
You just go back with an hola. Your eyes light up and you just go hola.
I'm just trying to communicate.
Let's
I'm trying
see
to
how
communicate.
this conversation goes with this hola guy.
I think he may not like me. We'll find out.
Yeah, all right.
I have no idea.
All right, Jim, what do you got?
Hey, Trez, I just got to break this down for you. I know you need a sports reference. Kirk is Bill Parcells, and you've got Jim Florentine as Bill Belichick waiting in the wings. Get rid of Minihane. Get Florentine some time.
I think he's
being facetious.
I think he's being
No way, really?
I think this guy, you know what, Jim? I think you're a Minute fan, and I think you're being facetious right now.
And you should thank him for his support and supporting Barstool.
Hola, like that was the giveaway, that hola. I mean, it's tough.
Real subtle.
Yeah, super subtle.
I like to respond to stuff like that. You know me. I'm that kind of guy.
Why do you hate Florentine so much?
The only thing I'd say about him that I don't like as a comedian is that he's not funny. Other than that, I think he's a terrific comedian.
Right.
Like, he's not funny.
But you don't have any personal beef with him.
No. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
So now, if you were him,
I'd play. He's a comedian.
Would he hate? Should he hate you?
Yeah, probably, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, why are you attacking?
No. I'd say, no, I think that's pretty justified. But
and
I will say, this is a guy who, for his career has had people standing in front of him and saying, fuck off. I mean, that's a comedian's life.
Have you ever watched that metal show?
Yeah, but I mean,
I thought it was very good.
Sure, it was 20 years ago.
Well, I heard the rants, too. They did Yelps. I thought it was very funny.
I did not.
Do you ever think in your head, and I'm not going to tell you to do this.
Oh, this is past it. Here we go.
This way or the other way. He's joined Barstool.
Mm-hmm.
We want to build it up.
Sure.
Helps everybody. What's it? High tide sails all ships or something?
Yeah, perfect.
That's high tide sales. Yeah, that's right.
What rising tides? What is that quote?
No, you've got it. Yeah, rising tides sail all ships. High ships.
Sends him right out to sea every time.
Adderall brain. Whatever people know what
a
it's
nautical
saying.
mind.
High
like
sails.
Dennis Conner.
Is there any part of you
No.
that
I know what you're saying.
thinks
No, nah.
maybe I shouldn't trash the brand new Barstool
Because
podcast?
I think it brings attention to it. And if people go and like it, then who cares?
But you saying it's horrible brings attention to it.
So what? But people go listen to it anyway.
I feel like your Minna fans take what you say to heart.
Sure.
So you saying it sucks.
But here's the thing, though. If he comes on with us and is a good sport about it, then I'll just be like, yeah, I like the guy.
I bet he would.
I think he would. I think
Are you going to have him on?
Sure. Oh, we'll have anybody on. Yeah.
Okay. Hola. What a dick that guy was. Josh,
I mean,
what's
that's
up?
not necessary.
Josh, what's up?
What's up, Dave? Big fan. Just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. On days like yesterday, you really appreciate Barstool and the fact that there's a site that we can laugh at.
Thank you.
And this brings me to my next point. With the Manny shit last week and clearly showing he has no place at Barstool and a couple others like Smitty and Glenny, the best con at Barstool is like the Barstool Idol, Barstool Rundown, when you and Dan are on camera. What about a Barstool Survivor Series where the 10 worst employees have to prove that they deserve a spot?
Yeah, I mean, I love that.
It's a good idea.
But again, who are we putting in that category? I know Smitty sucks.
That's nice.
You put Mike in there.
Manta sucks. Here's the thing.
Second shot.
I don't want to. Let's not.
No, you did it. You brought him up, Kirk.
Just say he's an employee. He's one of your 10 worst.
You brought up Blind Mike.
Uh-huh.
The only way I would fire Blind Mike is if he does something that gets us all in trouble, or it creates major headaches for me, or he goes on and publicly says, "Hey, fire me, you pussy," which is what he did last time, and I still didn't fire him.
But that's why
it's your guy to fire, not mine.
So you're saying I have to fire him?
Unless he did something that, in my way,
well, if I called you 6 months from now and I would do this, and I was like, listen, just so you know, Mike's at the wall. He's not bringing much to the show. I'm going to get rid of him. Like, do I need to do that? Do I need to make that call to you, or do you not care?
No, you could fire him without my permission.
Right, I figured that.
I consider really him your guy.
Same with Steve.
Correct.
Okay, good.
So the only ways...
By the way, if I fired them both, you wouldn't know about it for like 6 months anyway.
Probably.
Right? Okay, right.
The only way I would get involved is if
something
they've
happened.
done something that is bringing Barstool...
Like the Albright thing.
Correct, yes.
You were wrong about it. Yeah.
I was wrong. I'm the first... Kirk, I almost dislocated my shoulder raising it so fast saying I was wrong.
It was amazing. You're magnanimous.
There's nobody who likes to take accountability more than me. I almost root to be wrong so I can set an example on how to accept being wrong.
Absolutely.
On that note, we do have to take a break. We've been really just ripping right through. It's Barstool Radio. We'll be back after the break. Okay. We are back. That guy just yelled, yeah, untuck it. I like it. I like the enthusiasm. It's Kirk, Dave, and myself. We're live from Miami.
How do you feel, Riggs? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mean to steal your... But you mentioned it during the break. How do you feel about being truncated to an hour and your time is moving? Do you take that... Do you care or not care?
I feel great about it. Well, I would guess that the big reason is because we have a lot more personalities now at Barstool, so we're going to have more shows. Is that the main reason?
I didn't feel like doing 2 hours.
Love it.
That's good. That's a good attitude.
I very much agree with that, too. I mean, everybody knows I would rather be on a golf course than the office anyway, so if we have to be, one less hour, I'm all in on that.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours, I've been really busy. 2 hours is a lot, so I feel like the second hour sometimes drags a little bit and car wash it through. 2 hours is a big commitment.
It's really not. It's really not. Not with commercials. It's not that big a commitment.
Well, with all due respect,
sure. Yeah.
That was your full-time job, right?
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if it was the only thing I was doing every day, I think that changes it quite a bit.
Why don't you? Okay.
But it's like you go on the rundown, and then I just go talk about like the same exact stuff.
I think 1 hour might not be enough to get into stuff, though.
Dave Portnoy. That's me, third person, Jimmy's shoes. It's like,
Jesus.
Did you get that reference?
I got it. Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad. I like him crying in the aisles, begging for more.
You want, yeah.
So if at the end of one, they're like, "Oh, that Dave Portnoy, I want more of that guy."
Right. Gotcha.
Well, I got to tune in tomorrow.
Good strategy. Good strategy.
It is a good strategy.
That is smart.
And it's not the good thing about the station is I can do whatever I want. So if we find this isn't good, we can switch it. We can do this. We can do that. But at the end of 1 hour, I'm generally like, all right, time to move on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Kyle, what's up?
I can tell.
Hey, Dave.
I think this has been a great show.
I agree. Relax. You're doing great, Dave.
Thank you, Kirk. Sure. Kirky. Hola!
Shut up. Go ahead.
Kyle, what's up?
Hey, a couple questions for you regarding your horse this weekend. What do you think of how he ran? Do you think it was just a matter of he got caught at the wire? Do you think he ran a good race? It looks like Ortiz moved him a little bit.
A little quick.
Turn.
Yeah, maybe around the turn, but it's hard to nitpick. I thought he ran a winning race without winning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anytime you lose to like a 35-1 shot, my process is, I don't want to say fluke, but it's like you can't expect the 35. I mean, the 35. Nobody expected him to run like that.
How do you feel about this? Where's it out in California? Like 900 horses have died this year. I mean, isn't that? Do you take any?
I do. That bothers me greatly, and I consider myself an animal person.
I mean, it seems like they must be racing these horses to the friggin' bone. No,
there are problems in California that they look at.
Santa Anita? No.
Yeah, Santa Anita, which is same owners actually as Gulfstream.
Right.
I think it was a combination of factors, and there's definitely dirtbag trainers out there. Like a lot of horses get treated better than humans. I mean, they're very expensive investments. There's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
They're treating them well, but then you get some bottom feeders or people. It could also cause the other. If you're, drugging these horses to mask an injury, that's a major problem. You got to ban that person. They should be in jail. I don't think. Obviously, I have had to reevaluate and think of it because I wouldn't want to be. And I love horse racing. My dad took me as a kid. I like the horses. I'd watch it regardless of gambling. I like animals. It makes you rethink it. I don't think it's inhumane. I think horses are bred to run. They enjoy running. But if you start fucking with the rules and masking injuries and drugs and making them come back too quickly, it's very bad. And it's made me reflect on it. And I don't necessarily have the right answer for it.
I could tell, yeah.
Yeah. So something that I've thought about. Mike, what's up?
Hey, go Preds, go. Riggs, hell of an ad read for Untucked. Like it.
Thank you.
I was just talking about TMZ. I just think what they did is really unforgivable. I mean, releasing that information before Kobe's family knew about it. I mean, I know the Barstool brand would never do anything like that, just because we have the utmost respect for the family. But, I don't know. I just was wondering your opinion on that, because I just think it was just really fucked.
Well, I'll be honest, we wouldn't, even if we had the information, if I knew that. I don't know if that I would have thought of it in real time. Like, I don't even know how we get it before the family. We're not like that, but I want it. Now, like Kirk said, it's the world we live in, and really what you're thinking about, I guess, if you're TMZ, is, being mean and cruel. It doesn't change what happened. I wouldn't do it. I think it's widely disrespectful.
No, it's a tough call. I totally get what he's saying. Like, it is a tough call. So how does, I don't know how it works. So let's say TMZ gets it, right? They get the information cold. How do they don't contact the Bryant family, obviously, right?
Correct.
So for a comment, so they just sit there and wait. And I think in that waiting, they think, oh shit, we're going to get scooped. And you know what? Maybe getting scooped there is not the end of the world.
Right, but you do have to think, at what point would an organization not publish it? Like, are CNN or New York Times or LA Times, are they all going to publish the exact same thing if they got it the exact same way?
I actually tend to think if those companies got it cold, like they knew 100% factual, they would run it.
It's a news organization. Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't think they think it was their responsibility to wait for the family to find out. I don't think they may. I mean, certainly.
I don't think that's how they operate. I don't think CBS the news chief says, has anybody contacted the family? They say, we've got it. You sure? Let's run with it. It's news.
I would agree. I don't think any of these big organizations give a rat's ass, to be honest, about
And TMZ breaks more stories than any of them in this world.
You know why I think that is? Primarily because they have this pay model. And everyone knows you. So whoever did that got paid. Right. So I don't think people think of any, if you have information you think is valuable, timely, unique, they pay. I remember
now that's kind of, now the person who did that.
Scumbags.
That's tough.
And what's the money for that?
It's a lot.
No, I know, but I don't know, like, are we talking $6
grand?
Yeah,
I think
for TMZ, it's worth it.
And it's fast because sometimes, not as much, we used to be included in some of that. People would always say, hey, I have this. What will you pay for it? I think Aaron Hernandez's letters from jail were one. Yeah. And we always said, it's like, we don't break news. We'll comment. We'll just post it, and then we'll just talk about it after. We're not trying to be first. That really doesn't. I don't even always know, TMZ, what the benefit is.
I would think
advertising.
They must have had. Think of the eyeballs.
Correct.
Their traffic, is that what it is? They just cash in on the
50
traffic?
million views on that. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a remnant average. It's just like junk traffic basically that you have running because you can't sell ads against.
But something they can say 6 months from now, right? Say, hey, look, we did this on this. You're going to get that with us, right?
I don't think that's how it works.
No,
I think it's more they have like for our site. I know how our site works. You have just ads that are pre-programmed. Basically, you click the site,
something pops up.
Ad comes up. We don't know what's next. It's these big companies. Every million clicks or something, you may get or every 1,000 clicks, you get a quarter.
Right.
So that many, that turns into real money. I think that's how TMZ is probably.
So if they're paying $100,000 for that, it's probably financially worth it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And somebody makes the call.
What a scumbag. I mean, you get $100,000 to break the. That's kind of.
That's a tough call.
That's it's tricky.
So for some people, though, that's
a no-brainer for a lot of people. I feel like.
Weirdly, how do you get that information?
Yeah,
you talk to
Is it somebody in the sheriff's
What I want to know
office?
is, who knows? I don't want to speculate, but I imagine it's hard to identify at that point.
It would have to be somebody with the manifest, I would think.
Yes, who then talks to somebody who then talks to somebody?
Yeah, I would think so. Tim, what's up?
Hey, Prez, a couple real quick questions. Which on-air personality do you think will get in trouble this week? And do you think the movie Little Women is anti-grocery? And lastly, would Barstool promote Kirk's show if we stop making fun of your stupid dead dog?
See, that's what I mean.
It's not appropriate. Yeah, Tim is not.
How do you laugh at something like that?
I'm angry. That's why. That's my natural reaction. I'm not happy.
Is that anger?
I mean, Tim, I don't think is a fan of the show. I have no idea. It's not like
correct.
No, I wouldn't know that.
But what's the benefit of the reason?
You know what it is, Dave? It's a cheap shot.
That was a low blow, and I
didn't find it funny at all.
I'm not necessarily. I don't think triggered is the right word.
It is the right word.
But you pose like,
what did I do?
Well, you encourage that. Like if you were like,
absolutely not.
Yeah, that's not true.
Absolutely not. I take no pleasure from that.
I derive no pleasure as you look at me.
Smiling typically represents pleasure.
I'm a big smiler.
I will say,
but you don't have that much pleasure. So when you smile,
see that glass right there, Riggs?
Yeah,
half full.
I will say, there's no group of people who want it both ways.
So
quite like the Min fans with like promotion. It's like leave us alone.
Let me ask you this.
Promote. Leave us
Let me
alone,
ask you this.
Promote.
I said this today. How many times have I said to you, promote something for me?
As far as
how many times have I asked you?
Me, 0.
0. Do what you want to do. It doesn't matter to me.
But let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you say, who's your producer, Steve Robinson?
Steve Robinson.
When he asked for it, does that not count?
It doesn't come from me.
So that is a very semantics game. When your producer,
I also think it's okay for my producer to be proactive and reach out. If you guys say no,
you always have plausible deniability. You have Steve Robinson reach out and say, "Can you promote it?"
Absolutely not.
And then you say, "I've never asked."
You can ask
but
Steve.
Your promoter is asking.
No. Here's the thing. What I would say to Steve
your producer is asking,
so
but
Steve,
you haven't.
So Steve reaches out to Gaz says, "Hey, do this or whatever." I think that's the producer's part of his job. He should do that.
But that's
if Gaz says no, he says no. I don't have a problem with that.
But you can't say I've never asked when you.
Well, I haven't.
It's such semantics.
It's not. But it's not. But it's not.
Hey, I didn't know about those dog shirts being made. Just our show asked for it, but I wasn't in on that meeting.
I didn't say about that.
You said you had nothing to do with it?
Correct. I didn't say I didn't know it.
Again, you play a semantics game that is quite easy to see through. But
I didn't say I'm a mastermind.
You're like clear and present danger. You're the president who wants his group to carry out his orders without him specifically saying carry out the orders.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
Look, hey, wouldn't it be interesting if somebody made a shirt with Dave's dead dog on it? I can't say that I want to do it.
But see,
but
you're being different. But that's different than saying I don't think my producer reaching out and saying, hey, can you promote this is a big deal at all. And by the way, if Gaz says no, he says no. I don't care.
But when he says, can you promote Kirk's show, and one of the things you want to be left alone, I've never asked for a promotion, but your producer does.
Yeah, but it's not like he's badgering him for promotion.
But let's just, by virtue of your producer asking for promotion.
That'd be like because I technically work for you. That'd be like saying you're asking for promotion. No, show. It's of course it is. That's a total semantical game.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Totally different.
It is.
No, it's your direct podcast producer.
Yes, that's right.
The Kirk Minihane Show.
Correct.
Comes, hey, can you promote this for Kirk?
Which, by the way, is now listed under comedy on iTunes. Not in sports recreation.
Who the hell put it in comedy?
It's a lot of laughs, asshole.
Yeah, a ton of laughs.
Hate to disrupt this joyful conversation, but we have to get one more break in. So stick with us. We'll be back for the final segment in a few minutes. All right, we are back for the final few minutes of our first show live from Miami. We will be here, our show, 4 to 6, all week long. Again, live from Tequila Chica's here in Miami with Kirk and Dave and myself. I think this went pretty well.
Yeah. I also have a question.
Yeah, it was fun.
No, it went well. There's a bunch of calls still. Here, we'll take, how much time we got?
We got like 3 or 4 minutes.
I'll take this one call.
Okay.
No, we're going to screw with the calls.
That guy was so close.
If we have time, they're still on there, but we'll run out. As the last, and we'll get past the Kirk versus Barstool, if that even exists. But do you think there's an element on the business side where you've alienated, like, we call our fans, you got Minifans, we got Stoolies, maybe there's some crossover.
I love the Stoolies.
Do you think if you didn't attack so many different Barstool people, Stoolies would be more willing to listen to your show?
Yes.
So does that hurt, like, everybody?
Yes.
You don't care?
No, I can't help it.
You can't help attacking people.
I just like to do it. I derive pleasure from it.
You're maniacal.
Well, I would say, but I think I'm surprised at the level of sensitivity.
Is there anybody that you feel like you've attacked unfairly, or like I wish I didn't?
No, not enough. I think. Honestly.
So who's next?
Who knows? Whatever happens.
But don't you think you exercise a massive level of sensitivity?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I've never suggested.
But you just said I'm surprised by the sensitivity when you yourself possess a ton of sensitivity.
I am surprised only in reaction to their sensitivity. It's never my fault.
It's a sensitivity off.
Yes,
okay.
It's never my fault. All right. But there are certain people who are exempt. I think who will get a free pass. Like Erica say, like she's always been great to me. I can't imagine I'm ever going to rip her. That's about it.
I've been great to you. You rip me.
Yeah, but you do stupid shit.
Like what?
Just random dumb stuff.
Everything I do, I'm on the right side of the law.
Okay, well then I'm wrong a lot. Then I suppose.
Fair.
I suppose.
And again, most of my it's dealing with the last men.
It hurts me. I'm sensitive in this way, Riggs.
Okay.
It hurts me that Dave has thought about bringing me in here as a mistake because I think I've worked hard for you. I think it seems like people really like the show.
I think you work and live to work where it's very close and on the line of if it was a mistake or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying, I think Dave is different.
Like you do not go out of your way to make sure that Dave never thinks it's a mistake.
No, that's where Dave's very similar to like a Zambrano type. Like he's kind of got that.
That's the meanest thing that could possibly be said in the history of the world. No, my main concern, honestly, is, and we've talked about it, is I think Blind Mike is a little bit of a loose cannon. I don't know about the other guy, but I think because I don't know whether it's plausible deniability or whatever it is, that something could happen at some point that'll force my hand. And at times I've been like, is it worth waiting for that moment to happen or preventing it happening? That's
well, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, listen. Right, I'll just pick up and do something else.
It's not so much. I have more trust in you than I do your underlings.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah.
Guess we're taking calls.
Well, we got a couple. Thomas, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Portnoy?
No. I don't care that it's almost over. The lack of energy.
No, not good.
Not
can't
good.
end like that. We got 1 minute left.
You got to bring it.
Let's go to Steve to end it. Steve, what's up?
Portnoy, did you just say that everything you do is on the right side of the law?
Yep. And that's the show.
Well, wait a minute.
Unfortunately.
Well,
it's a bummer.
The show, the music kicked in.
It's a hard out. It's a hard out.
That seemed like it was going to be a friendly
once
call.
the music comes on, there's really...
What are you going to do?
That's a shame.
We're contractually obligated to end the show.
I can hear the music.
Yeah.
If he wants to call back tomorrow, call back tomorrow.
Good,
we'll be here.
good.
We'll be here all week.
Give it a shot.
All right.
We are finished here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tequila Chicos, thank you for having us. Kirk, Dave, and myself. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Barstool Radio, CCK, and us live, 12 to 6. So tune in to Barstool Radio Power 85. We'll be back tomorrow. See you later.